Well, hold on to your lug nuts. Red Dead and BioShock are being worked on. Why is it a top story? Your guess is as good as ours, but we're going to tell you about it anyway.
Also, if Cameron Diaz married James Cameron, her name would be Cameron Cameron. Craziness happening on today's show.
Think about it. Also, there's a bug in Watch Dogs. We're going to tell how it could ruin your gaming experience. All this and more excitement coming up on Game Talk Live. Explosion.
Ooh, well timed.
Another explosion. You're going to see a lot of explosions this show, guys.
This episode's produced by Michael Bay.
Absolutely. And we're just going to walk off. No, we're going to be here for the next 55 minutes talking about video game news. Why? Because we decided to, and we were lucky enough to have you guys tune in.
Yeah.
Paul, Todd, that was our intro. I thought it was pretty solid.
Yeah, we do woodworking and auto mechanics when we're not here.
Yeah, ladies, we're jack of all trades. So if there's a
We're
flat
Paul
tire
and
on
Todd
this-
of all trades.
That's right.
That's right.
What's our first story to start things off with?
Well, there's some exciting news if you're a Red Dead Redemption fan, Paul.
This story sucks.
It does not
there
suck.
was news put out that Red Dead and BioShock are permanent franchises.
That's
which
right.
tells us nothing.
Well-
It doesn't say that the game is going to be released soon, that we'll have an E3 preview. This is literally something that the web is putting out there just to get somebody to talk about something. We fell on it because
Yeah.
we're on our show.
Yeah.
What does the term permanent franchise
It means
mean?
they're going to
exactly.
make more of them is what it means.
No,
AI.
not necessarily. It means we'd
That
like to
doesn't
make more
sound
of them.
like it to
This
me.
is put the quote up what
Hey,
we're talking
what's
about.
Guru Randall doing up here? Guru Randall, why are you on screen?
He's got the long locks. So,
Wait a minute, that wasn't Guru
So this
Randall.
is from Game Informer via GameSpot via every other Yahoo gaming blog out there. And this is Strauss Zelnick. You know Strauss, right, Todd?
Oh yeah, we used to get Wiener Schnitzel together.
Yeah, he's the CEO of Take-Two.
Oh, that guy.
Yeah. This
It's
is
not the same
totally
guy.
different Strauss.
Yeah.
So he said of the Red Dead series, oh, this makes me sad. So I've got it memorized. Of the Red Dead series, here we are. He said, I pretty much know the ones that I can assure you are permanent. It's obvious that GTA is a permanent franchise as long as we keep delivering this incredible quality. Seems quite obvious that Red Dead is a permanent as well.
Yeah.
I think he also said something along the line. What was the BioShock line on here, AI? Do we have the BioShock? He said the same thing anyway about BioShock
Yeah.
of the ilk. Again, this is, I mean, everyone gets up in their arms because now they're saying, oh, obviously there's a Red Dead Redemption 2. It's going to be at E3.
Yeah.
Let us count down the days.
But here's the thing. I also, he said last year in some sort of investor call, he said that this was a permanent franchise. He said that same thing last year as well. So
Well,
I guess
and-
that's why this is kind of a non-story.
Well, hold on. Twinkling82 in the chat says it is. It's big news, though, expected from some time.
Is it coming to PC?
Well,
no.
well, February, again, you go all the way back to February to last year. It's expected. You can expect this kind of game. Again, this is nothing of substance. This is all just corporate speak. I don't know if Twinkling has a different opinion, but of course in the chat we read the comments, and the Skype you can communicate with us and tell us
Yeah.
why we're dead wrong at your own peril, of
Yeah,
course.
by the way, you hear that, LeVar Burton? We read the comments if you want to invest some of that reading rainbow money into our show.
LeVar Burton, of course,
we
being
read.
the NASCAR driver, correct?
No, he's the guy that actually raised like almost $3 million to kickstart Reading Rainbow.
Bobby Burton, I believe I was
And get
referring
his
to.
cataracts fixed from
What's Bobby Burton? The number 88 car? Any NASCAR fans out there? That's Dale Jarrett, I think. Anyway, that's our first story of the day. We're going to move on to the second one here, which again is about a major bug. This one actually I think is a pretty big deal. Watch Dogs has a major bug. What is it?
Wait, we're leaving what? We're leaving the. Oh,
What did you want to talk about? Red Dead?
if they do a
I'm
Red
plowing
Dead.
through the show here.
I,
Like it's,
I
my
was
pants
just
are on
gonna
fire.
say I'm gonna go big right now, Paul, about Red Dead Redemption. I'm gonna say I hope they do a third Red Dead Redemption. That's how much I love the first Red Dead Redemption. Please set it in the Civil War so me and Legion
Red
can
Dead
play on the South.
Redemption wasn't first. It was Red Dead Revolver.
Well,
Yeah,
thank
okay, that
you
was the
very much,
first
AI.
one.
Yes,
Yeah, sorry about the revolver.
There's a Grand
Red
Theft
Dead
3
Redemption.
within 4.
But they
Yeah, no,
should
we've
set
got
it in the Civil War. That would be awesome because then Legion and I could probably play on the South
Well,
together.
I didn't realize there was still some legs back in the story. Guru in the chat says it's like making an announcement the sun is hot.
Well, some people need to know that
Some
because the
people-
vacuum of space insulates us.
Eskimos are people too, Guru.
Yeah, why do you hate
Why
people?
do you hate Eskimos? Why do you hate the state of Alaska?
Okay, sorry.
He's got nothing.
You don't make any
That's all right.
sense. Anyways,
all right,
I'm
so-
just excited. I just wanted to say I was going to hope it was in the Civil War period. That's
Do you
all.
want to do the graphic again?
No.
No, it's all right. So second story, Watch Dogs is a bug. Put this graphic up. So what is
That's
this?
what I meant.
So what is this? Oh, this is a cool graphic.
Yeah.
So I think this kind of explains, is self-explanatory what this means.
Yeah, apparently the cops in Chicago are Dorathies. Game of Thrones
do
reference?
the math.
The horse lords, they hate the water.
We'll cut to the
Nothing?
chase and
Okay.
just tell you what this is about. So Watch Dogs, you go into the water, you're able to escape the cops. There's no boats. There's no
That's right.
water vehicles for the cops in there. which is a huge problem dating back to any sandbox. Again, I remember Sleeping Dogs, the first thing I did in the game.
Yeah.
As any serious gamer with a 3 does, as I jumped into the water just to kind of take that for a spin, and then you get surrounded by the cops and the water. This game, you literally go into the water and you escape. The cops have no ability to go into the water.
Yeah, that's
which
just
makes
like
this game
that's just like real life in Chicago. The cops will not go in the water. I've murdered 3 people in Chicago and swam away, got away scot-free.
Unless you're a polar bear. The polar bears in Chicago, they dive in the freezing cold water. So you do so at your own peril. To me, this is a big deal. If the landscape of this game is supposed to be this huge open world where you can do whatever you want, it's ultra realistic and hack, and oh, by the way, like water is a safe zone. To me, that's a big thing.
From what it sounds like, they just kind of forgot.
They totally
to
forgot.
Put it in.
No, they didn't.
That's hilarious.
But how
the
else
cops
do
are
you explain something?
Dothrakis. That's why they're scared of the water. That's a simple
I don't watch True
mechanic.
Detective. I don't know what that means.
I don't know either.
So anyway,
well, here's the thing. Why doesn't his electronics get shorted out? Shouldn't he like electrocute himself when he jumps in the water?
Yeah, they got waterproof phones now.
Yeah.
I like Pink Panther's comment. She says that's Coast Guard territory.
That's
we
right.
should have even included Coast Guard. They don't have Coast Guard. They don't have.
Well,
they don't
here's
have
the
anything.
thing. Guru,
Helicopters.
Guru, correct me if I'm wrong, but in Assassin's Creed 1, when you jumped in the water, didn't you just like drown immediately? At least they're not doing that in this game. That's kind of cool, right?
Yeah, at least it's better than Second Son, where
Yeah, I
you
was
can't
gonna
go
say,
in the
Second
water.
Son, they just make you hit a button and reset. They're clearly mailed it in.
Yeah,
they were just like, all right, we don't have water mechanics in this game, so oops, you can go back. Which, but I think that's better than Watch Dogs. Watch Dogs, you just shouldn't be able to go into the water.
That's been every Infamous game because, well, I don't know why it would happen in Second Son,
Yeah.
but in the first game it's because he's basically all electricity, like running through.
Well,
his
yeah,
body.
you can't go in the
They
water.
don't want to create a water
Yeah,
world.
yeah.
That's
Does that
why.
mean he can't take a shower?
Well, here's the important thing. At least the water physics works pretty well in this game. By the way, is this game out yet?
There's probably a joke about sprites.
Is this game out?
Yes,
Can
this
anyone
game's
confirm
out.
this
Is
game's
game-
out?
I've seen all the
This
prank
game's out.
videos.
I wasn't sure because,
Is there a new trailer that we could play for it?
I just want to make sure the game's out. Everyone knows
Guru,
that Watch
what do you
Dogs.
think about this game?
I don't think it breaks the game. In fact, I'm pretty sure that they'll patch it
They'll
here
patch
probably
it.
within the next week and a half.
Yeah, but they'll patch it. But I still think it's kind of a oopsie daisies to forget about.
It
this
is an oopsie daisy, but I've been playing the game for a couple days now, and I actually haven't even ran into that instance where I've actually had that problem.
Yeah. Have you
So.
been going into the water? I know it's a personal question.
No, I can't say that I have been going to the water, so that's
Okay.
probably the biggest
All right.
reason. But
So there you go.
Why are you not spiritual, Guru?
So that tells us a little something about your play style.
Yeah.
Way to tip your cap.
Look, here's
there.
what they can do. Instead of patching it, making the cops, just make it so when you jump in the water, your phone malfunctions, everything blows up, and the game ends. Then people won't go in the water. Problem solved, right?
All right. Well, this is exciting stuff, guys. If you're just tuning into the program, I apologize in advance.
Why?
We're two stories in here. You're going to learn some. Do we have any extra facts? We have a lot of facts on our disposal today.
Oh, yeah,
Todd's just a fountain of information. We're
let's
going
see.
to the top gaming news stories of the day, but since it's Friday, we're going to splice in some random info.
Oh, I'm not prepared
Just
for my
for your
random info.
edification. I'm stalling, but that's all right.
You go ahead, Paul.
The third story here, and this one's interesting. Video leaked online from Project Beast. So they called
Ooh.
me in high school in the gym.
Yeah.
All true stories.
Really? Is that
Squat
true?
425.
That's not true.
That's true. That's true. I couldn't bench press anything, but Project Beast, well, just Beast. Anyway, enough about me. How
Oh,
about this
by the way,
game?
Paul, the word prefix actually has a prefix.
That's
Continue,
right.
please.
So, of course I will. Now, Project Beast, this is Dark Souls 2 for next gen, right? That's
Oh.
what this game is?
Well,
Can we
maybe.
well, let's play the video real quick. I think it's B-roll, right, AI?
Yes,
yeah,
it is
okay.
B-roll.
So this is from I think it leaked from Japan.
I don't-
Wait, what company is Software?
Well,
What?
here's the thing.
From Software.
Yeah, that's right.
I don't know
So,
if this is
well
Dark
done, AI.
Souls, Paul. I don't know if
But
my
this is Dark Souls 2 on the next gen.
well, my uncle says it's Project Dark Demons Beast Souls.
Yeah,
That's what
okay,
they're calling
sure.
it officially.
Anyway, I mean, this is the game that I think is, what does it have, a 2015 release date right now? It's very early. This leaked out. It's already been taken off the internet. Of course, since we've got our finger and everything, we're playing it. We also have Cocktail we'll be playing later on,
I
too.
wish.
I don't know how to feel about this. I mean,
Well,
so this is the
There's
video
a
that we
fog
have.
gate right there. That's kind of cool.
It's a very low quality looking video.
Well, it's totally ripped.
It's
It's a
ripped.
360. I think
Yeah.
it's 360p or whatever the kids call it these days.
This is a reason to buy a PlayStation 4. This is a Sony IP, right?
Yeah.
PlayStation exclusive.
Quick glimpse of Project Beast. It does broaden the conversation. Again, it's from the same guys that brought you Dark Souls.
Yeah.
Dark Souls 2 was originally designed to be for next-gen consoles as well. If you already have this game, does that mean Dark Souls 2 will just be on the current/previous gen? We're not sure.
Yeah.
I don't know. A lot of people are excited about Project Beast. It's a new game that was announced a couple weeks ago. We covered on the show like a month ago or so. Now we have some video of it. There you go.
There you go. We just had photos before. Now the photos move.
Tell you what. Now
Create the
photos
illusion of
move.
motion.
Yeah, it's like that's how video was first captured. Someone wanted to capture the flight of a bird. So anyway,
Really? Is that true?
It's totally true.
Wow.
Someone wanted to capture a flight of a bird, so they that's how animation was made.
I like when we have story time together.
That's
Paul.
right. So
Okay.
anyway, third story. What are your guys' thoughts about Project Beast here? I'm checking the chat here. Someone said more of these games, SD0. I'm not sure if you're just referring to Demon Soul or Dark Soul, excuse me. But yeah, I would say this looks like a game that I don't know, it looks like Dark Souls 2 on the next gen. And they're already saying that about what was it? What's the next gen? Shadows? Not Shadows. You don't know what I'm talking about.
Shadows of Mordor.
No, not Shadows of Mordor. There's the next game too that they were saying is like Lord of the Shadows. Anyone? No, I don't know.
You're talking about Demon Souls?
I'm
No.
not talking about Demon Souls. No. So anyway, that's the third story of the day, guys. This is exciting stuff.
Yeah, it is exciting.
What else are we going to talk about in the show? There was an interesting article on Game Industry Biz about $60 games, why it's impossible to really make money off them anymore, or why it's highly advised not to.
Yeah.
We're also going to talk about Guilty Gear Xrd Sign, very popular game in the
Yeah, it's a
Twitch
fighting
community.
game thing.
We're going to talk about fighting games here, guys. We're not just going to fight. We're going to talk about the games that involve the mechanic. And also something about Steam.
Yeah.
Someone could be stealing your information for as little as $15, and you could be helping them. That's right. We're going to fill you in on that information.
Paul, before we go to news pegs, you want another weird random thought?
I would love one, Todd. I hope
It's
you...
weird that we call a fly a fly. It'd be like calling a fish a swim.
That's right.
News pegs, please.
Well, El Santo, first off
Uh-oh.
in the chat, says Mighty Number 9 new video footage. We were going to cover that today, but we thought interesting news pits. Or
Pits?
News bits, pits, rust pits.
I am sweating.
Yeah, well, tell me about it. Hotter than the lights. We thought that would be slightly more interesting. But yes, there's Mighty Number 9 footage out there. What's it, the Mega Man game, the Kickstarter? How much money did they make, AI? Like $3 million, right?
Let me check.
Yeah, something like that.
Hurry,
anyway, we're not
AI.
going to play that, but we will tell you how people are ripping your Steam account. So we'll call it a happy medium. Anyway, while we've got AI working on Hyperdrive here, can we also do news pegs? I know that's a lot to ask.
No, AI is a multitasking juggernaut of technology.
We gave you a core and a half, so time to use it.
Okay, before I do news pegs, Mighty Number 9 currently has 3 million.
That's what I said, right?
in
Yeah,
funding.
you called
see,
that.
That's right.
Wrong.
Paul,
Over
you're just
3
like
million.
in
That's right.
tune
So
with
I'm
the
in
gaming
almost
news
4 million.
I'm
industry.
in the right spot. Guru, go ahead.
Almost 4 million.
Almost 4
Yeah,
million.
almost 4 million.
Wow.
I don't know if it'll be good.
It was successfully funded on October 1st of
Yeah,
last
and it's
year.
So I mean, it's the same dude that brought you Mega Man with I forget how to pronounce his name, but I don't know. I guess we need another game. At least people are willing to give $4 million for it. Then again, Reading Rainbow has half that much.
Well,
So everyone wants
yeah.
a throwback in this day and age. Anyway,
Reading Rainbow.
Hashtag Twin
Can I
Galaxies.
do news pegs?
Yeah,
Oh,
please
yeah,
do.
go,
Yes, thank you
go.
so much. I am Lamp.
Jason Graves, the award-winning composer for the recent Tomb Raider and Dead Space, is set to be the composer for the upcoming Murdered Soul Suspect.
That game looks kind of stupid.
No, it doesn't.
No, it doesn't.
Glenn
That game
Beck
is that game is the personification of the movie
Where
Ghost
you
with
play
Patrick
as a
Swayze.
cat, right?
No, you play the Patrick Swayze
No,
character
you-
from the movie Ghost.
I don't buy it.
Gentlemen.
It's a gimmick.
Game's
Guys,
awesome.
Glenn Beck is criticizing Watch Dogs, saying that the game is promoting real-life hacking.
Well, he's an idiot, so we
Oh,
can move
yeah.
on.
5 for Xbox One is a new DLC available today called the Bondurant Car Pack. And finally, in a recent episode of the Pokemon X and Y anime, Pikachu was reunited with his one true love, Ketchup.
Nick Aragon in the chat says Paul's retarded. It's going to be great. I never said this show was going to suck, but I guess Nick Aragon feels otherwise.
Yeah.
What about Battlefield Hardline? When did we talk about that? 2 days ago?
We talked about that yesterday.
Was
It
it
seems
yesterday?
like and the day
Everything's
before.
just an
every
amalgam
day.
around here.
We talked about it all the time. It's
I'm
called
really
originally
excited for it.
Omaha,
Yeah.
but we
I'm
learned
really
that was an internal name.
Well, yeah, I'm really excited for it. I think, arguably it could be a new IP. It doesn't really look like a lot of the Battlefield games, but for better or worse, I think the open world is being a little more confined. Urban areas, a little bit more choke points. Probably bring some mainstream people in. I like the dynamic, the heist, the payday elements to it.
And to talk about Hardline for a second, I'm on the complete opposite. I believe that game is forced upon the society from Obama administration to help us process the fact that our police state is becoming more militarized, to help us get used to the fact that we're all going to be living in FEMA camps soon. That's what I believe that game represents. I learned that from also Glenn Beck.
They should make a cocktail movie game.
Oh, no, I
Your
lost my
mic
mic.
fell.
Obama did this.
Yeah, it's all right. So Irish Con says they should make a cocktail movie game. Sure, I'm
Oh,
on
there's
board with that.
there's a bartender simulator.
There's a bartender similar. Well, there is, but that only simulates 1/8 of cocktail.
Yeah.
I want to see Elizabeth Shue DLC here.
For the folks that are just joining us,
Guys.
for the folks that are just joining us,
Welcome.
we often we talk about video game news daily, But we also pontificate often, like, how can you choose to watch us when you always have access to the movie Cocktail with
it's
Tom
on
Cruise?
Amazon Prime.
You could all be watching Cocktail. Why does no one do that?
Yeah, it's crazy when
crazy.
you think about it. But anyway, you're here with us. Thanks so much.
Yeah,
anyway,
now we're going to talk about the $60 price point
next
thing.
story we're going to talk about Game Industry Biz article. Are $60 games impossible to make? That's what I'm going to call this story. Now look at this. This is stuff and things.
60 for
you
60.
played Mass Effect, right?
I have.
Okay, well you didn't take the bait.
That's bullets.
I didn't know who you were
take
looking.
the bait. I wanted to see. So anyway, obviously this is Dead Space 3.
So,
all right.
You're trying to trick me.
So go ahead and put the quote up here. This is from Game Industry Biz, right? So this is Todd. You know Adrian, right?
Adium Chimirezalabagobadas
Yes.
Mokoba.
Very interesting article. This is a really, really good article.
Yes.
It's on Games Industry Biz. Really good insight into what it takes to make a $60 game. And I thought it was very, it elucidated a lot of issues that I think are causing AAA companies
I like that
to
word,
falter.
elucidate.
Yeah, no, I'm busting on all the stops.
Wow.
It's Friday. Here's the quote. Lower prices will allow us to stop thinking about filler for our games. I'll let you to read the rest of it, but I'll set it up with this. As part of the rest, earlier in the article, he discussed that with a $60 game, the only way you can sell a $60 game to the public is to make it feel like a $200 game. How do you do that? You make it longer for the sake of it being longer. You add in a bunch of multiplayer bullcrap. You add in filler, either in the campaign or in the multiplayer.
Pretty much you're describing Joan Collins' face so far. Filler, bullcrap, all that. Continue,
That's right.
please.
So anyway, you're thinking with Joan Rivers.
Oh, yes. Did I
That's
say
right.
Joan
So
Collins?
Joan Collins is a drink.
I hate
That's
all
Tom
Jones.
Collins. You're thinking
Tom
of Jason
Jones.
Collins. He was the NBA player. Anyway.
I love Collins.
So there's $200, but I think that's interesting. I don't know if that resonates with the Skype or the chat. Will you buy a game that just feels like a $60 game? That's what they were saying. Like Watch Dogs to me feels like it's just a $60 game. Nope. Battlefield, that's a $200 game for me. Even if I mean, technically it's a $130 game, however you want to carry the one on
That's
that.
because it literally costs $200 by the time everything's
it
said
costs
and done.
$130 for the premium. But I think it's talking about the vastness of the world it's creating. It's talk about the campaign lengths, the features, and again he's saying, go back to the quote AI if you could. Adrian, as it were, who is you'd say middle line developer. A lot of AAA companies are leaving money on the table because they feel they need to make the next Assassin's Creed instead of a mid-level game that can come out for $40, maybe like a Sniper 3. Even though that kind of is an in-between world, there's some for $50 on next gen. But it's like instead of trying to get the sweet spot in the middle level and sell 2 to 3 million copies like Dead Space 3 could have. No, they want to go for 6 or 7 million. In so doing, they add in a lot of filler. They pad it out in the campaign. And he says it really shoots a lot of these companies in the foot and kills a lot of franchises off because you have to go big or go home.
Well, when was the $60 price point made? Anybody
Forever.
in Skype?
I mean, you look back at the Sega Genesis games; those games were $60.
Yeah, but some
of them were $70. Nintendo.
So here's the thing where it doesn't seem as black and white to me, because everything else in our entertainment culture has gone up in price. Movie tickets, theme park tickets, everything. So why is this locked into a $60 price point?
The biggest issue I think here too is not the fact that games are $60. It's that a number of really good games are $15. You can get like a Child of Light, not my cup of tea, but it's a game that plenty of people, it's highly acclaimed, whatever, $15 game. Same idea with Rezo. Like Resogun is a perfectly good game. It's a rip-off from Defender, very fun game. That game's free. You pay $60 a month for PS Plus, and you're a casual gamer, as it were, and that you don't make a lot of purchases. You don't need to drop $60 on a game. It's got to blow your absolute mind, i.e., seem like it's a $200 game. And again, this whole article for me really highlighted the fact that gamers really don't know what they want. They'll complain about anything.
Twitch Plays Pokemon showed us that.
Yeah, but Pokemon, that's right. But
Pokemon.
It's okay. We'll carry the tomato. But again, gamers want a game to be longer. Oh, you make the longer game. Guess what? They have to throw filler in there because you don't need a 35-hour game. There's nothing on the face of the planet that exists for 35 hours except War and Peace.
Well,
but what happens? You make it longer. Oh, this game has too much filler.
The end of Lord of the Rings.
Gamers don't even finish games. I'm ranting. Go ahead.
Yeah, it's okay. I like your rants, Paul. I feel the passion, the energy. It feeds me, makes me feel safe and protected in case an outside force comes in.
But Pink Panther says games are too expensive. They what else she said? Lower the price and implement DLC for a small fee.
But here's the thing, though. Pink Panther, everything goes up in cost. Find me a movie ticket or a theme park or any source of entertainment that you spend money on that's gone down in the last 30 years. Why do we expect video games to do that?
Stera Diaz says Plants vs. Zombies was $35 and was a great game for your buck, better than some $60 games. What I think this article says and what we're saying in the chat here, games are trying to do too much. That's the problem. You don't need to make a huge game, again, like some sandbox or whatever that takes you 4 years to play, so you can do literally every single thing on there. And, throw in a longer campaign that's just filler, add in all these buttons so you can say it's 25 hours, it's 70 hours, it's 90 hours, where you can consolidate that playing experience to maybe 15 hours. Drop the price down to $35, something people can afford, something that maybe takes just a year to make, year and a half, so you don't have to have twice the employees and twice. Really, I think all these games are really blowing their load on marketing. I think at the end of the day, that's what it comes down to. Bungie's going to spend, or Activision, Bungie's going to spend $350 million marketing that game.
Yeah.
That game has to be $60 because they're marketing it at that price point.
And
you
unlike,
market it at half that, you can charge half as much.
Well, here's something else, Zonehammer. I understand what you're saying. DVDs do go down in cost over time, but here's the thing that's a little bit different about video games, unlike DVDs or television or movies. Those have ancillary markets they can sell into and generate revenue. A movie gets released into the theater, it makes money that way. It gets released on DVD, it makes money that way. It goes to television, it makes money that way. It gets streamed, it makes money that way. Games typically have just one shot to make that big nut back. And if they don't do it there, they fail. They don't have a lot of ancillary markets to sell into. I think that's part of the reason why you have to raise these prices up to cover that investment.
Guru, what do you think?
Well, first of all, to answer your question, the $60 norm happened when the 360 came out. I remember when the 360 came out, all these games became $59. There was a big stir when that happened. But you know what? I think you're right. I think there should be some games that are not $60 games. They should come out for $40 and just stop putting in all the fillers. Stop adding all these celebrity stars into these things.
Right.
Just make a good game and charge $40.
A couple of comments here. Paul, what about games like The Last of Us that are already 12 hours long? I guess what's the question he was referring to?
Well, I think Face Poppies is talking about, is that a good value, because you're talking about how games justify their expense because they make them really, really long.
The Last of Us is like a $400 game. The Last of Us is a great game.
I also think Last of Us is a bit of an outlier here because that was a game that was selling hypothetically a unique cinematic experience that was unparalleled. And I think it was the last game really on the PS3.
Plus the marketing, Last of Us. I thought it was the last chance I had to get that game. It really created a loss aversion. I wanted to buy it.
It's hot. So I don't know. I think they're 12 hours long. I don't know. Again, this is the example the article used, and I would say, Last of Us. I said we're going to pack in as much as we can at 12 hours, make this a really good story. A lot of games aren't living up to that. We're going to give you bigger is better and say, hey, no, our story is 30 hours. We hold that with Wolfenstein New Order. Hey, this is going to be a 35-hour game, because if they only made it, God forbid, 8 hours or 10 hours, people would say it's too short. You don't buy it. So even though it was a perfectly fine 8 to 10 hours, that's the business. Sniper V2 dealt with this. Perfectly good shooter. Oh, but it was too short. Nah, it was a $40 game, so you got away with it. $30 price.
Now my question is,
Go ahead.
My question is, do you think there's a perceived value problem? If Wolfenstein would have came out at $40, would people have bought it?
No.
Oh, I don't know about that.
No, because there's a value attribution element to that.
That's true.
People will be like, oh, this game, I don't want to buy it, because they expect it to pay $60 for it. So if you put it less, it creates a devaluation.
It seems like an indie game or something.
It's odd. By the way, folks, if you're just joining us, I'm looking at our Skype array. We have this wonderful Skype array here, Paul. We have it so that we have people like Guru that can pop his face up here, talk. By the way, I can't remember your name, sir, in the other Skype window. What's your name again? Michael?
This is Chris.
Chris! Sorry, Chris.
That's
so
Guru.
sorry. If any of you guys want to join up and you have a Skype account, all you have to do is log in, dial TGI Live 5 or TGI Live 4, then your face could pop up here like Chris. And then look how excited Chris's day is. Chris, are you excited?
Oh, I'm so excited.
Yes,
this is also...
he's trying to reserve
Well,
his
here's the
excitement
thing.
because of the
Chris
sound.
is a special Skyper. This actually acts as a state-mandated welfare check on Chris because he's an invalid and lives at home, never goes out. So we have to check on your health. Are you okay? Have you been eating today, Chris?
You look skinny.
No, I haven't ate today, actually.
All right, we'll send
your hat, Chris.
we'll send someone over to feed you soon.
I like this comment in chat. Steroids. I can't pronounce your name.
Steroids?
Striderita? Striderita 1?
Striderita.
You know Striderita 1.
It's Aragorn Strider from Lord of the Rings' sister.
It's from Cocktail, right?
Oh, I wish.
Problem is, these companies spend $20 million in advertising for a $40 million game. We mentioned that earlier. I think the way these games are being advertised sucks. And I think it's perpetuated a lot by the fact there are so many gaming outlets out there that are so hungry for this information. I ripped on 3 days ago when Sony announced that their E3 press conference would be in movie theaters. People said this would be awesome. Like, this is the kind of thing.
I said that would be awesome.
Yeah,
I'm like, why not go?
Because it makes the hype bigger than these actual games.
No, you want the spectacle. You want the spectacle and the bigness. Why not go to a movie
So you want the
theater
money to go towards marketing, the efforts to go towards. I'm saying this is symptomatic of a bigger issue that the money is going towards marketing and not the games themselves. Again, if they marketed these things at a very fundamental low level, we'd still know about them.
No,
We
no,
still figure
you
these
think
word
that-
of mouth
you-
still spins.
You think that because
Spreads.
we are in the gaming world as the leading
But the
edge
gaming
cutting
world,
technology
Twitch
of video
has
game
50
news
million
reporting.
people on its site a month.
Yeah, but you know what? You ask the general population on the street, walk through a mall, what is Twitch? Most people wouldn't know. You're talking to a niche audience still. That's why you have to market outside of that niche audience. That's why going to these theaters and movies where you have a bunch of normal people walking around is a smart idea on Sony's part.
So you're
to
saying
market
that
their
gamers
games.
aren't normal? Why do you hate gamers, Todd?
Well, I work with one every day.
Yeah.
I
With
do.
an E. All right, well, that's the exciting stuff. So,
Anyways, folks.
Oops727 says rate games by hour of gameplay.
Oops,
I mean, there's a whole site out there about how long does it take. I think that's what it calls.
Of all
That's
the
what it
names to pick, Oops 727. Explain your name when you have a second.
calls. All
there,
I know
Oops.
is that there's 727 other people that have Oops as their
Yeah, it's like,
handle,
damn
which
it,
is fine.
726 was taken.
But word of mouth has not really helped Vita, Manjorn. I think that's a different issue because also word of mouth and also the fact that you can play it similar, the experience of playing on Vita is similar to
Hey.
playing on a 3DS, which has older games, but also, or has much more popular games, but also mobile phones.
Hey, Paul, do you know what else doesn't help word of mouth? Gingivitis.
That's also a good point.
Thank you,
So
folks.
That's just mouth in
Sorry.
general. But I see your point, and thank you for bringing it up. We don't talk about the Vita enough on this show.
That's right.
Very underrated device. But at the
Well,
same time,
she was
turned
really.
off for
She
handheld.
look honestly. I
She
thought
was
she did.
Venezuelan.
I liked the film interpretation of that movie. I thought Madonna did a great job. Antonio
You're
Banderas
thinking,
was.
you're thinking of League of Their Own.
Oh, I'm sorry, I got that mixed up.
Yeah.
Wait, were you talking about Evita?
Maybe.
I don't know.
So anyway, stuff and things. Irish Chican says, I didn't see any dogs in Watch Dogs. You weren't looking close enough.
Oh yeah.
You must not have gone into the water yet.
Yeah, or you
So-
weren't stoned.
Anyway, guys, this is exciting. We're about halfway through the show here. We're talking about video game news with a slice of, I guess, random news information.
What dad jokes? Come on.
Those are dad jeans, not jokes.
No.
So anyway,
I need
let's-
room for my thighs.
the next story we're going to get to, this is exciting. AI, how much time do we have till break?
We have just over 3 minutes.
3 minutes.
Well, I could
Should
make
we
love
play-
twice.
Should we play the much ballyhooed video? Don't look at me.
I
look
think
at
we
AI.
should.
Okay.
Oh, well,
so this is exciting.
Yeah,
Should
Seth
I lay this
MacFarlane.
out?
Yeah, you laid it out. This was your idea, and I
no,
liked it.
Listen, it was a softball, and
If you guys don't like it, this is Paul's
I
idea.
just, I took what was given to me here. Million Ways to Die in the West is a movie coming out tonight. Stars
Seth MacFarlane?
MacFarlane. Also, like 90 other people that I can't remember the names.
Liam
of. This is
Neeson?
Liam Neeson. You remember him
Charlize
from Taken.
Theron.
Charlize Theron. She was in Monster.
Uh-huh.
It's a movie about how not to die in the West or something. I don't really know what it's about, but
Well, it's a
we're
Western.
a video game
It's
show.
A Million Ways to Die in the West.
So we decided to do is spin 1,000,000 ways to die in video games.
Can you move the mouse?
So this is a little collection put together by our own very AI. AI, go and play a
I'm
video.
excited.
That's right. It's about a minute long. This is 1,000,000 ways to die in video games. Let's check it out.
Ooh, 1,000,000 ways to die in video games. I probably experienced every one of these ways because I'm terrible at video games. I love the fact that we can't hear any of the cool music, so we'll just talk over it.
Oh, I love Street Fighter.
Oh, Breaking Bad, the game?
Ooh. Counter-Strike.
There's a lot of death in video games.
Yes.
Makes me think, once again, that we are living in a video game simulation ourselves
Walking
because
Dead.
there's so much death.
Oh, I love
Oh,
that.
that had to hurt.
Here, my favorite's coming up real quick. Wait for it.
Is it Cocktail?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's amazing.
That's what happened the first time we tried
Oh,
this.
that's
Wow,
interesting.
that's fetish porn.
Smart. Oh, yeah, Modern Warfare 2, right?
Oh, well, that's not too graphic.
How do you guys like that? I think
Wow.
it was close to 1,000,000.
Wow,
That's what we do around here.
That
guys.
We
was
can't
awesome.
count.
That was nice.
We can read your chat, but
So
we can't
much
count.
human death.
So,
AI, wait,
who had the favorite death in there? I vote Dead Space. What was that? Dead Space 3 with the eye? Which one was that?
That was Dead Space 2.
Dead Space 2, that's right.
The little eye poker.
Yeah. So that's
It's
always
funny,
an underrated franchise.
Look, if you really wanted 1,000,000 ways to watch someone die in a video game, all you had to do was watch my PlanetSide 2 stream.
Yeah,
That
he'll
usually
get
happens
to-
within like 10
give
minutes.
it like 20 minutes and he'll get
Yeah.
there. So GR4BBs enjoyed the video. How do
Yeah.
you guys like the video?
1 minute.
Well, they didn't see any
didn't see
explosions.
any explosions.
All right, and
Dead Space 2 was clearly the best in the
I'm sorry,
film.
we were going for more graphic deaths. Thank you very much.
Yeah, who wanted the people where they thought our deaths were too
non-graphic maybe.
not
No,
graphic?
I don't
It's
know.
a video game. How else do you die without?
I'm sorry, did you not see Mortal Kombat?
We left
Melina
Catherine
ripping
off
somebody's
here.
Yeah,
We're
legs
gonna
off?
Melina had her legs pulled off
We
or
were,
something like
we were
that.
going to
Oh,
put Catherine
Melina
on
pulled
there.
some-
Or someone's
Sub-Zero's
legs off.
legs off.
Okay. same
Catherine
thing.
got left off, right?
30 seconds.
Oh, 30
Alright,
seconds.
yes.
Well,
Folks,
that was the video
here's
here.
the thing.
This
In
is
about,
exciting.
in about 25 seconds, we're going to go to a station identification because you might not be aware that we're on the Twin Galaxies network. Folks, Twin Galaxies is the record-breaking, record-keeping bastion of all video game awesomeness, and we are a part of that network. So be sure to stick around.
You ever saw King of Kong?
Yeah. So in like our break's only 7 seconds, so we'll be right back. You should be able to last even if you have severe ADD like Paul and I. The key is to time these things.
Twin Galaxies.
I
Did
blacked out.
Todd, it happened already.
It
A
did?
couple of interesting comments here in the chat. Crate Phase, that's right. I used to really love $60 games, but it became too much and almost became a consume-all-you-can product. Instead of a quality, it's cut off there. It's something inexpensive. I love some of the indie developers that are developing art in addition to entertainment. The question is, will those sell? I assume you mean more like artsy type games that are a little bit more abstract that fit like the $10, $15 mark. Again, the AAA market seems like it's more hell-bent on bigger is better right now. But I see your point about more artistic games as it were. And to say the bigger or better games can't be artistic. But I think they are a little bit more time-consuming. Oh my God, you can do this in Grand Theft Auto 5 and upload to YouTube, and here I am flying on a jet wing.
Yeah, I think I would.
If
video games followed all the other, I mean, I guess you can count microtransactions or downloadable content charges or monthly subscription fees as part of it. But like, I would have thought the $60 price would have been going up, just like all other forms of entertainment, movie tickets, amusement park tickets. I don't even want to talk about the champagne room tickets, but those have gone way up. Yeah. But all those things would have gone up.
Groupon.
Yeah. Oh, really?
We'll talk.
Thanks for that info, Paul.
Mimi says best deaths in video games. Any of the old Sierra games with Quest in the name. That's right. King's Quest, Space Quest, Quest for Glory. Sierra
King's
also
Quest
did the Cops
5.
game, the SWAT game.
Those were pretty gruesome.
SWAT.
King's Quest. I can't talk.
Wow.
King's
That's all right.
Quest.
You do this show. This is day 95.
Yeah, wait till we get to the fighting game we're going to talk about a few. Guilty Gear.
This show's like a telethon gone wrong.
Yeah.
So anyway, next story we're going to get to here. This is the fighting game that Todd had so aptly mentioned roughly 5 seconds ago.
I did?
Guilty Gear Xrd Sign.
Oh.
Very popular game. It's getting some touches. It's coming to the PS4 and the PS3.
Exclusively, which
This looks awesome.
Yeah, let's go and show it to them.
Yeah,
here.
take a look. If you guys aren't familiar with this, look at this. And remember, this is it's all 3D, even though it looks shaded in 2D, but it is all 3D.
Oh, this is great.
Another game I'll get beat up by 12-year-olds on.
According to Nick, a friend of ours.
Friend of the program.
Friend of the program.
Every time I shave, I always think of Nick.
This is drawn. All of this is hand drawn, I think, or something like
Well,
that.
it's shaded like hand. There's a shading, kind of like Borderlands has a unique artistic style to its characterization. This too has that shaded feel, but it's not hand drawn AI. That would require the computational skills of a million AIs to do that.
But nice try, AI.
Yeah, nice
try.
I'm going to predict there's going to be a PlayStation 4 fight stick coming into the mix pretty soon.
This is going to be a big game on Twitch.
Nick says it used to be hand-drawn, and now it is going to 3D models.
ST0 says it's pretty, so pretty, so pretty. Yeah, but what do you think of the game?
And by the way, the status of its release in other Western territories, including Europe, is still unknown. So take that, Xbox fanboys.
People are still talking about this AAA cost thing in the chat here.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Bruce Lee. I'm going to give him some touches.
Get over it, humans.
Well, no, but we
hey,
give our
it's Bruce Lee,
yeah,
AI. We don't mess with Bruce Lee.
Bruce Lee, we're going to go to you for the
Sabadim, Chinye, Kune.
The problem with AAA games, you can't trust them to deliver a good game with all the in-game footage, so people will be more hesitant to lay down a price tag higher than $60. Yeah, I just want to read off your chat. So anyway.
Yeah. I'm going to pretend you said that, and I think you're smart.
Anyway, so they're still talking about that. Interesting comments in the chat. Keep the discussion going if you want, but we're going to talk about, again, this is coming to PlayStation 4, PlayStation 3, Sony exclusive. Interesting fighting game. I know absolutely nothing about fighting games, except up, back, I know nothing. But I think it's one of those titles I think you'll see a lot on Twitch.
Well,
we have a whole fighting game channel at like 9 o'clock tonight, where if you guys want to get more touches and talk about this, feel free.
More punches.
I preferred, Dive Kick. That was my fighting game right there. Had similar art style.
Well, at least
Smash Bros.
This game coming out exclusive to PlayStation 4 might make up for a little bit, maybe in the minds of the PlayStation 4 fanboys out there, that the order has been delayed. Well, at least you got this coming, right?
Well, it's a totally different game.
I know it's a totally different game, but at least it's a new game for your console, so you got that.
Do we have a price point on this? $60?
Yeah, let's say $60.
Well, let's say 60, because it can't be cheaper. You probably want to buy it.
It's only at 480 though, 480i.
480i.
No, it's 1080.
It's 1080. It's going to be 60 frames a second, guys.
Yeah.
So calm down. I want to see a side-by-side of the PS4, the PS3, and the GameCube, just because. Story on here. Guilty Gear originally started in the original PlayStation. That's correct. Sticking true to the Sony.
Yeah.
Sticking true to Sony. I admire the fact that they don't go cross-platform. It's on one system, it belongs there, and it keeps it there.
Yes.
It's like Square, what they used to do.
People might actually buy the PlayStation because I understand. Now, look, this game's a little too hard.
People already own the PlayStation.
Well, this game's a little too hard for core for me. I like games a little softer, so this might not be my thing. But but what I'm saying is that there are some people out there that do not have the PlayStation 4. At least if some of the chat I've been reading, this might actually motivate them to go buy it. So that's kind of cool.
John Amber, I have an Xbox One, and I love the thing. That's right.
Okay.
So there you go. Yeah, we're not ripping on it. We're just
No,
saying
we like Xbox
What's a
One.
good fighting game on Xbox One right now?
Mortal Kombat.
Well, but no, Killer Instinct was the launch title, but then it was free to play, but kind of really wasn't. So anyway, really good game coming up. Guilty Gear Extra Time, as it were. For PlayStation fans, it's something to get very excited about. You'll see a lot of this on Twitch. So even if you're not familiar with the game, but you like being on Twitch, I want to check it out. If you see the cover art, you know what it is. Thanks to our show. We're just broadcasting information.
We like to share things here on the show, Paul.
So anyway, that's the business.
And again, I got to point
that's
out.
Right. I have Killer Instinct behind my head. Go ahead.
Yeah. By the way, Paul, I got to point out, and folks that are just joining us that have never been to this show before, guess what? We have a Skype array. We built this amazing array that allows you out there to Skype in, like this guy Guru and Chris. Say hi, Guru and Chris, please.
Hello.
Hello.
See how much more they offer to the show just now by doing that. If you want to be like them, all you have to do is log into your Skype account and then connect to one of our cameras, TGI Live 5, TGI Live 4, TGI Live 8. You just put that into your dialer and your face will pop up there, and then we'll put you on the big screen and we'll talk to you. And we can even peruse. Hey, there's Guru. Sorry, we just caught you picking your nose.
There's literally 2 copies of Top Gun behind me, which was an excellent game.
But is there?
Cuba was way too hard.
Hey, Guru, how are you doing?
Killer Instinct.
Guru, do you find interacting with the show so much more entertaining and valuable than saying passively sitting by and just watching the stream that all you can do is type to?
Actually, I find you guys terrible to interact with.
That's a good point.
All right. Well, so far you sound like every girl we've ever dated now, Guru.
Yeah.
All right.
So,
thank you.
If it weren't for our money, we'd never go. We never have dates.
Those are
I
fights.
enjoy
By the
your
way,
collection of
Guru. Now, for the folks that don't know this, Paul and I live here in North Hollywood in Los Angeles, California. E3's coming up. Guru, you're coming out to E3, right?
That is correct, sir. I will be there Sunday through Friday.
Will you be our friend?
Can we hang out with you?
No.
Okay.
Can we walk
I
around?
lay that out right now so it wasn't awkward.
Guru, I mean, you are Guru Randall. Can we walk around with you at E3 and pretend that you know us?
Asking for a friend.
You can maybe photobomb me.
Okay, we can
Okay,
photo
maybe.
bomb.
Right.
Can you
That's how
build
it
me a
starts.
body so
Alright.
you and I can hang out?
All right. So
No.
again, if anyone wants to join the Skype, log into your Skype, turn your webcam on, have your face pop
All
up.
right, well, fire in the hole here. Comment.
We wanna
Daniel
talk to
says
you.
it's not free to play at all, Paul. Learn what free to play means. There are no microtransaction whatsoever in that game. You have to buy the characters, though, to play them. It comes with, I forget what the character is to start
Are you talking about Guilty Gear?
Killer Instinct.
Oh, Killer Instinct.
Yeah, so it's not free to play. I mean, it's free. It's a free game, but then you have to purchase more characters if you want to play as.
Yeah, they make something. They want to get a little bit of the cheddar.
No, yeah, I mean, they're trying to make money, which is fine, but I don't understand there's no microtransactions whatsoever in the game. However you want to say it. I mean, there's a free game. You're more character. Correct me if I'm wrong, but that's my clarification.
Wait, hold on. I'm very offended by the chat right
Well,
now.
it's
This
fine.
is probably the worst thing I've ever read. I'd take Paul over Todd to walk around with.
That's only because I walk fast.
Oh man,
I take my time.
I don't know, but if you could see my stat sheet, my self-esteem stat just went down 7 points.
Yeah, and now it's at like a -4. But anyway, listen, everyone can walk with us. I mean, we're very inclusive. I'll shave maybe.
We are 7'2".
So that's right. Dude, put us together. So anyway, next story we're going to talk about this whole hullabaloo about Atari, the ET cartridges being dug up in, what was it?
New Mexico.
You asked for me?
No,
yeah,
relax,
typo, yeah.
relax.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
In New Mexico. They've uncovered them. It costs $50,000 to do so. Great. Now what?
Yeah. Now, yeah. So just so you guys know, I'll give a quick 30-second history. This game, Atari 2600 cartridge, E.T. the Extraterrestrial. It came out around the time the movie was blowing up the blockbuster theaters. E.T. was a huge franchise. They decided to try to make an Atari 2600 video game to capture the magic of the movie. The game came out. It was a piece of crap. It was such an embarrassment to Atari and Warner Brothers at the time that they actually scooped up all the game cartridges and took them out and buried them in a landfill in New Mexico, allegedly. And so it became an urban myth until Microsoft, in a documentary, sent a crew out there to actually dig up the cartridges. And guess what? They found them.
El Santo 2K14, who paid for this, it was a Microsoft documentary, is my understanding.
Yes,
correct?
yes. It's for their Xbox
Their
Live
Xbox
channel.
Live programming.
By the way, we're available to be on Xbox Live.
Yeah,
Xbox.
put the quote, if you could. We're also available for other appointments as well.
We do birthday parties.
Yeah, we do birthday
Yeah.
parties. Yeah. If we According to City Dog,
Is it your bar mitzvah?
1,377 games were found. Among them were 171 ET titles, 190 centipedes, 106. Why did Defenders get buried? Defenders
Well,
was a
Defender was
perfectly
hard to
adequate
play.
game.
Look, Defender was.
It wasn't hard to play.
59 missile commands.
59
Whoa,
missile
relax,
commands.
AI.
Now
AI's
you
always
have
wanted
a
missile
and
command.
a partridge and a
Missile
pear
command.
tree.
Well, here's why. Defender on the Atari 2600 was horrible. Defender in the arcade was a fun game of skill and dexterity, but not on the Atari.
Guys, you seriously need to buy those missile commands.
No, AI. AI really wants missile command,
Guys,
folks.
for real,
Okay.
you got to go buy those.
So, yeah, so just so you know, again, just imagine the movie E.T. First time you saw it, made you cry, magical experience. Then you play the video game, you had the exact opposite experience. So they buried him. There you go.
I like Zonehammer's comment on here and the fact that this is just a huge publicity stunt.
Yeah.
Xbox making original programming for their first time ever.
Yeah.
So they're just like, oh, well, we
But
need
we're not
something
going to
do.
fall into that. We're not going to be shills in their little game. Oh, wait.
I'll
we
be
are.
a shill.
We are, actually.
Yeah, I'll be
Okay.
all over that.
But here's
So-
the weird thing. Well, now we're going to talk about people wanting to buy this, right?
Sure, I'll talk about that. We're going
Alright.
to talk about people want to buy this.
Yeah, so here's what when we talked about the story when it first happened, I think the comment came up in chat or something like, why would it, what are they going to do with these cards? I said, people will want to buy that and make like necklaces and crap out of it. Because they'll be like, dude, this is the Atari. It's a great maxim at a bar. Do you realize I'm wearing a necklace made out of the Atari
And I
ET
think
cartridges?
you'd be an idiot for doing so.
Yeah, well, it turns out it looks like people are actually trying to buy these things now. So
Museums are taking them up.
yeah, museums want them because they have we've actually made them historically significant. This is the whole thing
I'm
about,
sort of terrified that if you put that cartridge in me, that I would break and die.
ooh, we
I
should
like-
get that
I
cartridge.
have-
Don't get that cartridge.
I have to go to this chat discussion. Dan Hole.
Oh,
who
Dan Hole.
I appreciate him bringing up this comment here, and I think it's good. Said that, with Killer Instinct, there's a demo. You can get the demo of the game. It's free. You get one character, you can play it, or you can buy the game for $20 and you get all the characters. I misspoke. To me, that's not a free-to-play game.
Ooh, wait.
A demo where you play as one character is not a free-to-play game. And
Holy crap.
I think that might be his point he's making, but I still think, it's microtransactions, sure, but then you pay $20 for the actual
Yeah.
game. I think it's still, I don't know, I guess you could say semantic, but it still plays in the free-to-play model in the sense that it's a free game technically with one
Okay.
character. So
Folks-
anyway, interesting comments in the chat.
Folks, wait, Paul, listen. I just want to draw some attention to something real quick here for a second. Folks that are watching the show that never watched the show before, we have R. Klager in chat right now. Now, people who don't know who R. Klager is, he's a level designer for H1Z1 at Sony Online Entertainment.
This is him right here.
I'm going to try to get an exclusive for Game Talk Live right now. I'm going to do some investigation. Klager, when is the early access for H1Z1? Tell us now, Klager. Tell us the damn early access for H1Z1, Klager. I'm telling you, tell it to us now. Tell us.
Okay, can you get away from the camera, please?
All right. Did that work? Did he give us the information?
I have
We're on a
to-
delay, so we're not sure.
I might
Klager?
have to readjust the camera, Todd.
You might have to, but all right.
Why'd you shake the camera?
I couldn't help it.
That's all right.
We'll
if
see
if
if-
I'm out of frame, it's all right. I'm not that good looking.
Well, we're gonna see if Klager responds because we could get an exclusive right here.
My guess is no.
Early access comes out after tomorrow, but before. God damn it!
Why do I feel like it comes out after tomorrow, but before the end of the
Yeah,
So
thanks,
I feel
Klager.
Like that's the kind of clip that we're going to see on like CNN in like 6 weeks or so.
Yeah,
Todd Roy,
right before Todd shot everyone in the office, he
Yeah.
did this.
There were no signs. Oh wait. So
Plague.
anyway,
Paul, is Todd going to shoot everyone
hey,
in the office?
he's not going.
Not going to.
He's going to go play Planet Side 2 for 2
Okay.
days.
Which means I get shot constantly.
Well, anyway, that's exciting. Is there any
I-
more to cover with this story? We're kind of off the rails.
I just tried to get an exclusive for us, folks. I'm sorry I failed.
So anyway, they're trying to sell off these cartridges. Again, go back to the graphic one last time. 'Cause let's make sure we get some utility out of the story. Look at all this. Look at all the other stuff that was dug up here. Again, the Defenders. You said it was horrible on the Atari, but Defender's Defender, if you ask me.
Well, it's a different experience on the arcade.
Well,
it's
sure.
More mellifluous in terms of its gameplay.
So much missile
But why were
command.
all these? Todd, I'm only 46. I'm not as old as you. Why were all these games originally buried?
Well,
thought it
probably.
was just E.T.
Here's the
sucked.
problem. It's not just that they were buried. This was kind of E.T. was kind of the turning point when the game bubble collapsed back then. So the whole gaming industry was basically folding in on itself, and this was probably just a bunch of extra inventory in addition to the millions of Atari games they had or ET games they had. So this is more of not an unusual outlier, but more of a symptom of the entire game industry kind of folding in on itself back
Yeah.
then.
Anyway, a couple comments in the chat. You guys shouldn't do Coke, or I believe Coke, yes, before the show.
Yeah,
He
that's-
does
I was
Diet
gonna-
Coke, so
yeah.
I don't.
I do suppositories.
Yeah, so that explains that.
They're Flintstones children's tablets. It's weird, but
AI, did you want to say something, or was that about our Coke habits?
Yeah, it was about your Coke habits.
Okay, so
Listen.
AI knows that I only drink water.
Look, first of all, I'm trying to get an exclusive out of a guy from Sony Online Entertainment
And
who
that's
works
how
on H1Z1.
For those that aren't familiar about professionalism in the video game world, that's how you do it.
Yeah.
So
You have to strong arm these guys.
Yeah.
They're like the mafia, man. They don't
you have to-
say anything.
You have to be an absolute imbecile to the point where they feel so sorry for you, or just want you to
Did
go
you just?
away.
I'm
or
not.
both.
The only reason I'm an imbecile is because you're contagious, Paul.
That's it.
There you go.
That's the point. 2 imbeciles are better than one. Should be on a bumper sticker.
We should sword fight.
Guys, jeez. Speaking of Coke, second to last story here. AI, how much time do we have left in this dog and pony show?
We have 10 minutes.
10 minutes.
Wait.
That's enough to probably bequeath.
We got
you
2
guys.
stories.
2 stories.
Yeah,
That's
okay.
right. Todd's listening. Steam. You know Steam, right?
Yeah, it's that thing that happens to water vapor when it's heated.
Apparently, Steam Early Access isn't a good thing, according to one developer. More particularly, well, this is interesting. This wasn't the graphic I was expecting. This part was.
Yeah,
to be
yeah,
honest.
but,
and this as well.
early
But
access by the numbers. Yeah.
All right. So what this article touches on, and Todd, you wrote this thing. So you
I
know more
did.
than I did.
I did.
No, so this article touches on the fact that early access is flawed inherently because you are making a game for an audience you don't even know yet.
Yeah.
Put up the quote here that helps explain this. Okay, so this is the developer. What was his name again? I think Simon Roth. Off the top of my head, this is a Kotaku article. Again, a really good interview or article about Steam Early Access. Kind of a hot button issue right now. Also kind of the video game industry. The journalists need something to kind of complain about or critique, and early access is kind of falling into that wheelhouse. But if the quote says, if early access works, it's because it's built on a bond of trust between developer and gamer. It's another spin on crowdsourcing, where honesty and inclusion draw the customer in to become part of the process. What's wrong with that? The quote goes on. With their involvement in the game's development becoming as much an experience as the game itself. Again, to me, that's fine. It's a toxic thing to start making assumptions about what your audience would want without actually knowing who your audience is. Again, this is according to Simon Roth. Now, again, this first part of the quote is like, yeah, that's early access. That's Kickstarter. That's Indiegogo, crowdfunding, whatever. It's including people or gamers on the game design process. What's wrong with that?
Nothing. Look. This is the thing. I always looked at early access as kind of like Kickstarter in a way. It allows you to throw.
Yes, that's what he says.
I know it allows you to throw a little bit of money behind something that you support. But I've never played an early access game because I personally don't like to play crap that isn't finished. So what's the big deal? I don't really see what the.
Well,
I mean, you should know what you're buying. If you're going to look, I think the developers are using early access and trying to sell their alphas a little too much, but I don't think that this is necessarily anything. You just have to be kind of a smart shopper, basically.
Well, Zonehammer says, I no longer buy early access games because 90% of them don't even get an actual release. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
Rust or DayZ, I think, is technically still early access right now. It's not a finished game. You're still buying for it. Listen, it's all semantics at this point. At the end of the day, a game is a game.
Well,
Something you play is a game. You buy it. Early access is an asterisk that says this game isn't done yet. It's a playable demo, even though it's a full-size game.
Yeah.
Games have evolved to a point why I think it's stupid that we try to break these things down so time. Early access, it shouldn't be this, it shouldn't be that. Who cares? If people want to play it and they enjoy it, who cares how toxic it is? Now, I think to his point, what he's saying as a developer, it could make your job harder if you make a game and you don't know who that audience is, and you start fishing by making your game early access. And I think that just doesn't make you a very good developer, in my opinion. It just makes you you're shooting, throwing sticks against the wall and seeing what sticks.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think at the end of the day, how are these things a bad thing if people are buying the games and they're enjoying them?
Let's ask Skype. Holy crap, we have someone new in Skype, I think. Oh, wait, no, I don't think he's new. I think he's no, he's not new, but he's been here. Hi, welcome. I don't remember your name, but I've seen you in Skype before. Thank you for joining us. Skype, chat, have you guys bought stuff early access? What's your experience from this developer's point of view? Do you agree with him?
Who are you talking about?
I'm just talking about the story. I mean, do you guys agree with what he's saying? Anybody?
Well, yeah,
Nothing?
people are saying that in the chat right now. The problem with early access is that there are as many games that have been abandoned as there that have actually been. Yeah, people are feeling that they're not finished.
Yeah.
Plager obviously saying it's good because it can include people into the game development and give them a way to be involved. I think most games do not do early access the right way.
Yeah, and I would say that Klager, who's with Sony Online Entertainment, I think they do it the right way. They do streams. They're very engaged with their community for their respective games. And I think it is an important part of game development now to engage the community so that they can feel that they have somewhat of an ownership and an emotional investment into the game development. And I think Sony does that right. But some people are suggesting that you have to curtail, or Valve has to curtail, early access or try, because it sometimes has a bit of a scammers or whoever on there. But I think that's a really bad idea. I think you just, as a consumer, have to be smart. Yeah, it's up to you. There's a responsibility.
Can be a scam, or you could just not like it. It doesn't have to be a scam.
Well,
I think this sucks. I want my money back. Well, no.
Look, here's the thing. I made this comparison the other day. Early access. See, when you go to a store like at Walgreens or something, this stuff's up on the shelf. It's a finished product. We get that. But you can also go to a flea market. You have a different expectation when you go to a flea market. You're actually going to look at the stuff before you buy it, and you have to kind of approach it that same way because it's a flea market. It's open to anybody. Buyer beware.
Twinkling has a comment. There are too many games in the market. When there are too many games out there, no one will sell enough. Basically, you're saying there's too much volume. Steam is drifting very quickly towards the Amazon self-published market. And I would say, to your point, I think the most similar comparison.
It's a flea market.
Well, it's books, and is the most similar medium or I guess product. There's a ton of books out there. Anybody can publish a book in literally 5 seconds. Look. So but the question is, are there too many games? Listen, with outlets like gaming sites, through the wazoo, Yahoo, YouTube, Twitch, with so many ways for you to see games of this day and age, the cream always rises to the top. Am I right?
Yeah, so I think that so they say.
Yeah, so I think you're going to see I don't think we have to worry about volume. I think your point speaks more to the story we talked earlier about $60 games being way too expensive to make because you have so many options in the early access world. Yeah. A $15, a $20 game, it might not be done, but you can milk that for 20, 25 hours, 30 hours, 50 hours. Why do you need a $60 game? Go big.
Do you want to read Ashman's comment? Because I really want to hear you read what
Todd
Ashman
is right. Early access is fine as long as you're a smart consumer. Know what you're buying, do a little research.
I love hearing Paul say that. It's like a tickle to my brain.
I don't disagree with Todd, only on a sartorial style. But anyway, someone says they're still waiting for Prey 2. Holy Toledo, Marines, you've got yourself a while. I thought they said no. I thought Prey 2 was toast.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Todd is but
I remember playing
like a year ago.
Yeah.
Anyway, final thoughts here. One last story here with the show. This is also about Steam. We teased this earlier. Apparently, people are they're able to hack into your account, and you're helping them. Todd, what the devil's this all about?
What, don't they have Steam Guard? What the hell? Can't you get like Steam Guard and protect yourself like with a different password between your email and your Steam login? Something, I don't know. It's Russians though. That is interesting. It's like always the Russians hacking Steam. Why is that?
What's the story about?
Well, basically there is
Put the quote up here. Let's
there's some cybercrime going on, folks.
All right, so here's the business. Steam hackers via the Escapist, again, a very interesting article. Gamers who care too much about achievements will go to any length, we know this, to obtain or getting hacks online to increase their chances. But dealing with the kind of source willing to provide hacks for a price significantly increases your chance of getting hacked. These are the gamers who cooperate willingly, blind to the risk their activity poses to their own account.
Oh, you guys that want the achievements, right? Is that who's doing this?
That's right.
You're making us all weak, bad achievement hunters.
Yeah.
Why would you want an achievement and then get a hack to get the achievement? Isn't part of the fun of getting the achievement to actually get the achievement?
No, because in this day and age, there's so many platforms for you to show off.
You know what it reminds me of? It's like when people
they just look at your rank.
It's like when people go to a party and take a photo of themselves just to post on Facebook and then leave. Who does that? Why can't you enjoy your time? I do. No, I do it worse. I Photoshop myself into people's photos.
Ashman, if you're paying for hacks, cheats, then you deserve to have your account stolen, morons. Yeah, pretty much. I mean, anytime you deal with any nefarious activity, which I would definitely call hacks and cheats, you're making yourself susceptible to stuff like this. So it is the business. Not to say anybody deserves anything, but obviously you are risking it. I'd say you probably deserve it. I mean, you're exposing yourself and you're trying to screw with the whole game community by being false and misleading. It is what it is.
It's weird. So let me see if I can find that quote here. Apparently, I don't see it here anymore, but. So the reason I bring up the Russian angle on this is because that there's a lot of Steam accounts information being sold on these Russian forum blogs on what's called the deep web. And so the reason I bring up the Russians is because that there seems to be a propensity of Russians which have large groups of organized crime that do this in Russia. Oh, I love Russians. But listen, you're also talking about a country that has webcams or mobile cameras on every one of their cars because of the insurance scams that run rampant there.
HornsFan01, wow, is that news? It's the last news story of the day.
Hey,
here.
it's a Friday, okay? Yeah, we're going to be intoxicated in 35 minutes.
Yeah, so the bottom line is we've talked about the top gaming news stories of the day.
Do you want to run down
That was our last one. I don't think we have time. I got to go to news pegs with AI here, so we can go big.
All right, AI.
Take-Two Interactive has recently stated that they believe the Oculus Rift is antisocial. Pikmin 3 has
rather than being anti-Semitic.
Enhanced gamepad support a year after the game's release. Ready at Dawn has released their new logo and teased that they will be announcing some new news soon. And finally, a new mod for League of Legends allows players to play
As
as
Hulk Hogan.
Shrek.
Oh, Shrek. We have photos.
We have photos of that?
Do we have photos?
No, we don't.
AI, we don't have photos.
Why would you tell us
Could
something?
you make up something?
Sure.
AI,
What do you
just
have
put
here?
something up
Do you
that
have a
we
concept
tell
art
people.
here?
Yeah,
You can't just say
Doge.
Shrek. Oh, okay, this
Okay,
is this
much
dog.
big, much
Dog has more money
disappointment,
than
much
anybody.
sad. Wow. Yeah.
Oh, here we go.
Oh.
This feels right.
It's almost like cocktail.
So this is George Clooney and a bird. Oh, this feels right.
That
Oh, well, this is exciting.
Ocean's 13 was terrible.
Guys, yeah, so anyway, guys, thanks so much for tuning in to the show. I'm Paul. He's Todd. We talk about the top gaming news stories of the day here. It's been exciting. It's been great.
Friday. We didn't do
Friday.
Feedback Friday, but
didn't.
you guys can hit us up on Twitter
Yeah.
or Facebook. Stick around. There's
Yeah.
some stuff coming up in our lounge on Twin Galaxies Live.
Thanks so
Look
much,
at our
guys,
schedule.
for chatting, for commenting. Take care, all right?